There they are. I swear, I make one little move in the house and Dad's like, what are you doing? Has to know every single time. And every time I turn around, both of them are always, mostly Dad, it's just disappear, and it's like, okay, well, I never figure out exactly where they, wow, that's bright. It's annoying. Gonna find out if Dad did what he was supposed to or not. Now that Mom's home. What the heck is up with all these? Check. Hey, what are you guys doing?
So we're showing your mother.
That's showing me how nice and flat it is now.
Oh, well, that it is.
Yeah, it looks good. Well, I was wondering what was happening with some of those stumps and, you know, what the
that big one right there?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So.
Hey, Dad, you did tell her, right?
Oh, what?
About our guest?
Yes, of course I told her.
Okay,
Guest?
good. Just making sure.
Yeah, Joe.
Guess. Oh, yeah, he told me
Yeah, I
about Joe.
told her. I told her that, you know,
I'm just making sure because you said you were going to, and
he just, you know, and the thing is, he never tells me what's going on. He just says, you know, he needs space. They kind of need space. You know? So, I mean, he doesn't tell me exactly what's going on. So.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Joe.
I thought that's not what.
What do you mean that's not what? I told you needed to spend the night.
Yeah, you said it's because he had a little too much to drink.
Well, he did have a little bit too much to drink.
Not because there was any kind of problems.
Well, it's not that. Tom could have took him home, but he wanted to play some video games and stuff, so we played video games. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, it's not a big deal.
Well, no, as long as it's just the one night.
He was out of the house real early.
As long as it's just the one night, it's fine.
But you're happy with that?
Well, yeah, but you're not answering me.
What?
As long as it's just the one night?
Well, I mean, as far as I know, it was one night. I mean...
As far as you know.
Well, I'll find out probably in a few hours if he comes back. Or... Oh, no, that's right. He works tonight, so yeah, I won't.
And he's going to stay out in the pavilion,
Oh, yeah, I'm not
right?
standing here. There's acorns fall down. I'm not getting hit in the head. What's that?
He's going to stay in the pavilion?
Why would he stay in the pavilion?
Well, that's what you and I talked about. When, you know, when we mentioned this before.
Well, that was because we were talking about with Tom.
Right.
Yeah, we were saying
said
if he
Joe
came...
needs to come over and or stay or whatever.
Yeah, he could stay in the pavilion.
He could, so why didn't he?
No, I'm talking about with Tom. I was here.
Well, I mean, if is it going to happen when I'm home?
What do you mean?
Because I don't want to get up in the morning and have to worry about if Joe's still here, and then I have to put.
I don't know. He leaves.
To get dressed
He
or
leaves
whatever.
pretty early in the morning. I don't think you have to worry about.
Well, I think I have to worry about it because I don't know. I don't know whether he's going to be here or not, and I don't want to have to worry about it in my own house.
Look, if it was one of your friends, wouldn't you sit there and say if they were having problems with their spouse, like, oh yeah, you could spend, you know, as long as you need. Wouldn't you do that?
If it was okay with you, would it be okay with you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Why would I have a problem with that? I mean,
Well,
if somebody's going through a hard time, I want to help somebody out.
I want to be helpful too, but you know, this is happening repeatedly. That wouldn't happen with my friends. So, you know, this is not the first time, and it just keeps happening.
I get that, but it's like...
he does have a point.
That doesn't make
you.
her sharp. What?
Huh?
Huh? No, I'm just saying that... I mean, why can't you help somebody more than once? I mean, like, I don't...
Well, you can, and I do want to be helpful too. You know, I don't want to put Joe in a tough spot, but at the same time, I kind of feel like we're enabling him. You know, instead of him going home and trying to make things right, he has a place to crash where he can just run away, and that's never good.
Yeah, but look at it this way. When he comes over here and he just is spending, like, you know, a week here or 2 weeks, whatever.
A week or 2 weeks?
Whatever. I'm just saying, if he did, then he's the next thing you know, they make up, they go back together and everything. I just think
And every time there's a problem, he runs away because he's got someplace to go.
I don't know that he runs or that he's
or drives,
pushed
or walks, or gets pushed,
or
booted, or
Right.
whatever. It doesn't matter.
gets
It's still
stuck
someplace for him to go, which makes it too easy. You know, I don't have a problem.
So
with
so
making
what? I'm just supposed to tell him, Joe, you can't stay here. Like,
No,
I mean,
pavilion. I mean, it's screened in. It's got a couch. I'll give him a blanket or a sleeping bag even. So
I think there might still be one in there from when he was there
the
before.
last time he spent time in the pavilion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing a pattern
But
here.
what
too.
happens when we want to go in a hot tub?
He's got to get out, I guess. See, it's already inconveniencing. If we want to use our own things and we can't because
then
he's
again,
here.
it's like he's here late. He comes in here late. You know, when he sleeps, when he stays here, it's usually really late at night, and then he's out early in the morning.
Right. And
So,
how's that
I mean,
helpful?
No, I'm just saying. So we could still use the hot tub when we want to use it. We don't never go in there that late.
All right. What if he comes home early that day?
I know what days he works late, and that's almost every single day.
Again, it's us being inconvenienced. You know,
it's
we're
an
working
inconvenience.
around him when he's not working hard enough to help himself.
Well, maybe he is, and maybe it's
I
just.
think if we inconvenience him just a little bit, it would be more of an incentive for him to.
So is that what you came out here for? Just like to stir the pot? You should come out like this, Tom. Hey, Mom. Did Dad tell you?
Absolutely. Don't you get on his case about it.
Well, it
because
seems
this
like
is
that's
stuff
what
that we talked about before.
And what we had talked about was that you were going to tell her, and you did, to your benefit.
Yeah.
So good job. You did tell her.
Are you
But
checking on
apparently
me
I
to see
didn't
if
have
I
all
told
of the information. And this is something that we need to talk about. This doesn't impact just you or just you and Tom. This impacts me too.
I don't even know all the information. You were there. Did he say how long?
No, but
Then it sounds
That's
like
just his
something
MO.
you need to talk about. It sounds like information you need to get.
Yeah, I'll find out how long you need to stay here, Joe. But I mean, if he's going through a hard time with his wife, he doesn't know when all of a sudden she's going to be like, hey, come on back.
Okay, but maybe ask him what he's doing to help out with his relationship. I know it's not typical guy conversation, but
know.
you know, it's impacting us. We have a right to know.
No, I get it, but I just feel for him because I know that he has, 3 kids. He's got a lot going on.
Which means he should be home for them.
He's all day. He's not going to be here on the weekends. He's going to be
But you think
with
the
them.
kids don't notice when he's not there? They notice things like that.
They're probably happier.
That's not nice.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, you shouldn't be saying it.
It's just nighttime though. It's just sleepy time. They're all asleep.
That doesn't make. It's not logical to me. It's not making sense that he just needs a place to sleep.
Maybe he snores really incredibly loud. I mean, I have heard him snore here, so maybe he does, and maybe that's what it just drives her crazy. Maybe she has that thing like I do. I forget what it's
Loud,
called.
repetitive noises get on your nerves.
It's in your head. And you're like, what? It's called what?
The short temper.
No, that thing where people, if like
I know what
chew,
you're talking about.
if they
What is
chew,
that called?
what?
What is that called?
It's called something.
I don't know.
And you know I have it.
I know, because you're irrationally angry about certain noises.
Like when
Like when I chew.
or when you talk
Get
What?
away with yourself now. You want to sleep out in the pavilion?
with Joe.
Joe.
There was no
You and
room.
Joe.
No.
You got here
no,
together.
No.
Maybe you should go
What are you
sleep at Joe's
smiling
house.
for? You think that's funny? He thinks it's funny because it's like I'm getting in trouble right
Agrees
now.
with me.
Hey, you're a
is
troublemaker.
Am I being a troublemaker?
Tom's a troublemaker. He really is.
I'm laughing because you picked up a second shovel.
You're digging yourself another hole, all right?
I have another shoe in my mouth.
Or that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he shouldn't be getting into any trouble. He's the one that told me as the things I should know. Now, I mean, he's confronting you about it because you should have given me all of the information.
The question is his motive, right?
Doesn't matter.
The motive was to make sure that you told her the thing that we said you were going to tell her, and
So he's
like I
checking
said,
up on
you
me.
did.
He's checking
that's
up on
really
me.
nice of him because otherwise.
Would you rather I have mentioned it to her behind your back and found out that you didn't when you were supposed to?
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you want me to tell him?
So, I want you to find out.
Joe,
I want you to
Diana
find.
said you're kicked out of the
You
house.
asked me a question. You gonna let me talk?
Oh, sorry. Whoa.
I want you to
Let
find
me
out.
stand over here.
You better watch yourself, Buster. Just find out how long he's thinking. Okay, what kind of a timeline are we looking at here? Tell him he needs to stay in the pavilion. He can come in if he needs to, and if he needs to use the bathroom or something. But really, he should be going home.
Okay. Well, yeah. What happens if he has to go to the bathroom? He can come in and use the bathroom.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, if he has to pee, he can just
He
go
can
right
have the
outside.
gloves and stuff.
But if he
I don't
suppose,
want him to have to
well, suppose he has
with
to,
a bucket.
suppose he has to take a deuce.
But he doesn't have to use a bucket. He can come in, but he should be contacting you so you don't hear the door opening in the middle of the night and get all upset and hit him with a baseball bat.
Yeah. Well, I think that I think that that's fair. I mean, he can contact me. I can only see that it's an emergency. I don't think most people don't poop during the nighttime unless they have
not
diarrhea
feeling good or something. In which case, I would, I would feel. But then again, I don't want him bringing any illness into the house.
Well,
but
I'll tell him that he has to go in
What?
Tom's bathroom, in your bathroom. I mean, it doesn't make sense to go into the main one because suppose
he's
you
gonna wake everybody up
suppose
then.
your mom gets up in the middle of the night. She's good. Sometimes she has to pee.
He needs to stay on the other side of the house.
Fine.
Yeah.
I don't normally use that bathroom that late at night anyway.
If there's any other issue, he needs to just clean up after himself
Yeah.
if he needs to.
Yeah.
So he can stay on the pavilion for as long as he needs to. That's what you're saying. I can tell him.
Well, it's going to start getting cold. He's not going to
Well-
like that.
Well, it's like you said, an incentive to sort of push him like, hey, maybe don't sit around.
Well, that's true. I like that.
I don't see it last that long. It's never that long with him.
Okay.
I think it's usually couple weeks max.
Weeks. I mean, we're not going to have to, like, provide meals or anything, are we?
No, I mean I think he gets meals every time he works at at these places that he's working.
All right. Well, I have, like I said, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to, be uncaring, but he's got to kind of take care of his own stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be easy for him to ask, right?
He doesn't seem to have a problem with it.
I don't know. I mean, he kind of just like
All right.
blurted it out last time.
Well, he certainly has no problem asserting it once he's actually over here.
Well, Tom, when you're talking about when you're here by yourself.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Well, I think that he just sees an opportunity to come over and hang out.
And that doesn't tell you anything?
What tells me that sometimes, Tom, he's around 3 kids all the time. Sometimes maybe he needs to be around somebody like that's an adult.
All right.
I
Well,
don't think he's getting my point.
you're trying to be a good friend, and I get that.
Right.
I just don't want him taking advantage,
don't
and that's
think-
the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how he would be if I don't think he'll have a problem sleeping out there. He's not going to get wet if it rains.
It's got, like you said, it's got screens to keep the bugs out.
And I don't want him in the hot tub, though. I mean,
No.
I'll tell him that he can't go in the hot tub.
Okay.
And then I'll tell him, make sure, like, we like to go in the hot tub, Fridays,
We'll just have to communicate.
in the evening, and I'll find out what time he gets home from work on Friday evening and see what happens.
Okay.
And tell him, hey, could you, just text me when you're heading over.
Communication.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't think we have to feed him. I mean, and I don't have much beer in there. He's not even drinking beer now.
Okay.
He's eating a special diet, so I think he's still going to be eating at home and stuff like that. It's a weird situation. It's always been weird. So, yeah, I'll tell him when I see him.